this is a tough situation for a lot of parents because I had a daughter go back to school yesterday. I've got another one that's going to be going back to school. I think it's the beginning of February. And normally when you go back to school, it's after summer break. So there is a 2 or 3 month layoff. And then you've got to get back in the routine, right? It's getting up, it's getting dressed or showered, having breakfast, getting out the door, making sure you get lunch packed, all of those things before and in time to get there on time. And because now there's going to be new protocol, right? These kids are going to have temperature checks. They're not going to be able to, congregate in mass groups outside of the school before they open the door. So there's a lot going on now. And some of these kids haven't been in school for over a year.
I know.
Trying to get up and back into a routine after you've been home for almost an entire year. And a lot of kids did go to school in their pajamas. So I used to, before I started the morning show here, every morning I would wake them up by singing to them. And it was generally, it was some version of, good morning. Or I would say, I would sing it in Spanish.
Don't lie. You sang that. You woke them up to Hail to the Victors every freaking morning.
That was a part of the routine
6
for a while.
6 a.m. sharp on speakers.
Yeah, I would change it up, right? But I would sing them something, and they would instantly, their eyes are starting to open up, and the first thing you do, right, is flip the lights on, which anybody that wakes up to a bright light is going to be in disarray, and then they hear Dad singing. But now that I'm on the show here in the morning, I'm obviously not there to wake them up. So I FaceTime them at one of our commercial breaks, and I've got this little, this little party thing here that the kids had.
Like a kazoo. Almost.
Yeah, it's like a little
gosh.
kazoo. And so as soon as they answer it, it's the same thing. Like it's still dark in their room. The only thing that lights their face is the light from their phone. And then they hear me blowing this little, party favor kazoo in their face. And so
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, you want to hear it?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
So
that would wake my ass up.
Yeah. And so they get up, obviously, and they're. I think it's the anger that actually gets them out of bed because they have this adrenaline rush, and it helps them open their eyes just a little bit quicker. So I'm wondering for parents who are now going through that after a year. How is it that you're waking your kids up and getting their routines going? Because some kids, and I have one daughter that's up and at 'em. She's up at 6. She listens to the first hour of the show, and quite often she'll.
Which one is Lucy or Ruby?
This is Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
And so I'm sure she'll be texting. Oh, I can see the little bubble right now. She's texting.
I love the classic names, by the way. I love those.
All family names. Lucy, Ruby, Ellie, and Jack. So all family names.
That's money.
And so Lucy is the one she's the one that's actually in school right now. And she is, as we speak, preparing to get out the door. My wife is taking her to school, and she's the one that is hard to get the routine going. She does it, but she's a little grumpy in the morning.
I remember when I have to wake my kids up for even now at the 20, they can get up by themselves, but when they're home, I have to wake them up for something, especially when one gets up early and the other one put the light on and she just, turn it off. She naps a lot during the day too, so like I have to wake her up to eat dinner. Mm-hmm. And you get to a point, like, I could sleep through an earthquake, I've slept through fireworks. I mean, I can sleep, I asked my wife, I can sleep through anything. But when I was a kid, I wish I could do the same thing. My father, for some reason, your mind becomes accustomed to something. My father would come in every morning and wake me up by just going, psh. That's it. That not loud, just psh. And I'd hear that and I would get up.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The fear of not getting up. Was there a little bit of fear there if you didn't get up? How do you wake your kids up?
Well, I'm in the same situation as you, obviously, right now. We're here at the crack of dawn, so I'm not doing it during school. Now, our kids, one of the big things that happened, our kids went back to school in person after Labor Day. So it was pretty easy to get back into the routine because they survived last couple of months at home, and then our school shut down in mid-November when the gov came out and did all that stuff, and now they've been going back since last Monday. But our kids wake up early. I mean, they're early risers. Like, that's the thing, one of the things that annoys me more than anything is that they'll do it on the weekend as well.
Like you gotta be up.
Yeah, can you literally just please stay in your room until 8 o'clock? That's kind of what I ask, and half the time that doesn't happen. But I mean, they've always been easy to get up. Anna is the one that sometimes struggles, and I don't know. We just clap and make loud noise until But usually we don't have, because they still. I mean, you're talking 8:15, 8:30 with that, and that would be like for church on Sunday. Because all right, now you got to get up. It's time to get up. But usually they're up by 8. So
Ruby just texted me. She said she appreciates the fact that you pointed out yesterday that I laughed at my own jokes.
Oh, yes, you do. A lot. A lot of people do.
I hate that people are criticized for that.
I know. A lot of people do.
I know.
It's just sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you go to a comedy show, and you should be laughing at the jokes more than the other comedians. Sometimes the comedians laugh at their own jokes.
But when they're funny, right?
Yeah, exactly. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. 2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. Here's T.O.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike C Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
We open with the Lions, who will introduce new head coach Dan Campbell at a press conference that will take place later this morning in Allen Park. This will be Campbell's second time as an NFL head coach. He was the interim head coach of the Miami Dolphins for 12 games back in 2015 after team officials fired then head coach Joe Philbin. Under Campbell, the Dolphins would go 5-7. Meanwhile, according to the NFL Network, Campbell is reportedly looking to hire James Urban as the Lions' new offensive coordinator. Urban is currently the Baltimore Ravens quarterbacks coach and has earned high marks in NFL circles for his work with Lamar Jackson. The Pistons wrap up a 3-game road trip with a 123-115 loss in overtime to the Atlanta Hawks last night in Atlanta. That loss now drops Detroit to 3-11 on the season, which means the Pistons now have the worst record in the NBA. In an effort to curtail the recent COVID-19 outbreaks among NBA teams, the league will now use extra mid-court security at the end of games to keep players from shaking hands and hugging. Another reason for the move, and it's a pretty good one, the NBA has been forced to postpone 17 regular season games this season. In fact, many of those postponements have happened in recent weeks. NCAA officials confirm in a release on Wednesday, this year's NCAA tournament will begin on March 18th with the first 4 round of games. Selection Sunday will take place as scheduled on March 14th, and according to ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi, Michigan right now projects as a number 1 seed, while Michigan State is currently projected as an 11th seed. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, T.O. Yes, the NBA stands for No Bro Hug Association. No bro hugs allowed. NBA. Ooh, excuse me. Our telephone number 248-539-9797. We have some ticket texts about the Lions stuff we talked about earlier, and also how you wake your kids up. My dad would sometimes sing a goofy rendition of Reveille. Gee, how I hate to get up in the morning. I loved it. Cracked me up. That is very familiar to me. My father used to do the same thing, but not a weird version. Just sometimes besides that one would be the whole, he was doing the bugle. As a teacher, the best piece of advice I can give families as you start to get ready to go back to school is to get them into that routine now. Get them up, get them dressed, and start the day like the day is a traditional school day, even though it hasn't started.
Just without the car ride.
Yes, and the Lions, earlier, in case you missed it, I was a little upset at the 6-year contract, which, as Gov pointed out, and I knew this, if you're going to fire a guy, you're going to fire him probably with 1 or 2 years left on the contract anyway, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. Bob in Rochester, the problem with the Lions is they told us they were looking for people with experience, and not one hire yet has experience at their position. That's true. Stoney, you're held up on retool instead of rebuild, a 6-year deal. Why? What does it matter? Everyone wants the Lions to do things their own way. Don't do things like the Patriots or other teams. Now Detroit is taking an approach like nothing we've ever seen, and the media is already trying to rip it apart.
Well, I don't like the whole retool versus rebuild argument. I think it's a blend. I think you get in here, then you start coaching, you start analyzing the talent, and you try to win as soon as possible. There's not the NFL is not tank
bitching about the Lions doing the same old thing, and then when they do something totally different, they bitch about it. They are being totally diverse with this. I love it. This is why the deal is 6 years. They are building the Lions way. Okay? If it works, you're absolutely right. Somebody else says Brad Holmes is a bad hire. Collaborating is the last thing this team needs. It needs someone with stones who'll do it their way. Collaborating with lifelong losers is the Lions' recipe for disaster.
Patricia did it his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So it's win. You know?
and the only other thing I would say about a 6-year contract, it's really only 3 to 4, because if he doesn't win and we have the same results, he's going to get fired. If he does win and there is success in let's just say year 4, they're probably going to extend him.
I mean,
So it's really a 3 to 4 year deal.
Do we know is Holmes and Campbell? Is Holmes got a 6-year deal? I haven't heard any of the terms of his.
I believe, I don't know. I've heard rumor that it's 5, which makes absolutely no sense to me. But that is, I'm not even going to, I don't have a reliable source like you have.
Yeah, when are they going to announce that one?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing with collaboration, I would rather have that than a dictatorship. And I think success more times than not comes from when you have the leader of the pack saying, I would never be here without the people I have around me.
Right.
Right, as long as when it comes time, and Woj brought this up yesterday, when it comes time to break a tie, you have to have a clear decision maker. You have to have somebody that says, you know what, this is what I believe, this is what we're going to do, we can't come to an agreement, you're going to have to deal with this decision, and this is what it is.
100% agree. I agree with that. And in the end, I'm still suspicious, as much as I'm going to give these guys a chance, that Rod Wood has a say in some of this stuff. And until I see that he doesn't, I can't think at least, okay, you better watch out here. Does Rod Wood, if Holmes wants to go and trade Stafford, does he have to get approval? He shouldn't have to.
No.
From Wood or Sheila.
They should just tell him this is what we're going to do. Now, that's a problem if ownership says, no, you can't trade him or this or that.
What we're seeing here is Tom Wilson all over again. Tom Wilson once had a say in personnel decisions, and that had to be stripped from him. And Rod Wood should not have a say in personnel decisions.
Well, yeah. When once Jack McCluskey, Tom Wilson had a little bit of a say.
Right. And guess what? They sputtered, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Absolutely.
And once that was taken away, what happened?
They won. Let's go to Isaac in Royal Oak here, 97 on the tick. What's up, Isaac?
Good morning. I was just curious what you guys thought about that new rule for the NBA. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. They're playing a basketball game. They're in physical contact, sweating, touching their eyes, touching their mouth, touching a ball that everyone shares. What are they curtailing by not letting them come in contact for an extra 5 seconds after the game? That doesn't make any sense.
A lot. Isaac, a lot of this stuff makes no sense. A lot of it seems to be just optics. I mean, during the commercial break last night, the inauguration, I flipped onto the Pistons, and my wife goes, why is this guy sitting on the bench with a mask, and then the guy next to him isn't? I mean, it's just like, it's absurd. I mean, you watch football games, the coach, has the mask covering him up, and then he's talking to a player, and sometimes the players are sitting there next to each other without masks. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's just optics.
Yeah. And you'll see a lot of that in the two conference championship games this weekend. It is conference championship weekend. The Packers taking on the Bucks, Brady, Rodgers, and the Chiefs against the Bills in the first game. Hopefully, it looks like, because he practiced a little bit yesterday, Mahomes against Allen. But we want to ask you, 248-539-9797, which non-quarterback is going to have the most impact this weekend? 248-539-9797. And I'll pick one from each game, if that's okay.
Sure.
In the AFC, I'm going to go with Travis Kelce, because he's part of the passing game, obviously, and it's part of Mahomes. But if they can contain Travis Kelce, despite Tyreek Hill and everything else, I think the Buffalo Bills will win that football game. I think Kelce is, anytime Mahomes is in trouble, Kelce's always the safety valve. He is an amazing knack of getting open. He, to me, you can't call him an X factor, because I think he's their main weapon. So for me, in that game, it's Travis Kelce. And the other game, Devin White, if he has a game like he had the other night, it's over. I mean, he was just so phenomenal. I think he can win that game. He can stop Aaron Rodgers, possibly. Now, nobody really stops Aaron Rodgers because he gets the word of the ball so quickly. But to me, those are the two, one in each game, that could have the most impact.
I'm going to go for, I'll start in the AFC as well, because I do like your Devin White one there, and I've got a combat for that. But in the AFC, I think Stephon Diggs and his addition to that Buffalo team has completely transformed Josh Allen. It allows him to do so much more. And I brought this stat up just, maybe it was even last week, where Stephon Diggs has only had one game this entire season, whether it was a regular season or in the postseason, that was under 6 catches, and that was 4 against the Los Angeles Rams earlier. And we talked last week a lot about Jalen Ramsey, and so that was the only time that Stephon Diggs didn't have at least 6 catches, and that's only happened one other time in NFL history, and that was Marvin Harrison in 2002, who had 15 games with 6 catches. No one had ever had 17, including the playoffs, and now Stephon Diggs he had 6 against Indy, he had 8 against Baltimore. If Buffalo is going to win this game, some of it depends, obviously, like you had said, on what Kansas City does offensively, if Patrick Mahomes is there, if Travis Kelce is that outlet for him. But for me, it's Stephon Diggs, and if he has a huge game, we could be talking about what I believe will be an upset in this Buffalo and Kansas City game. And then going to the Tampa Bay Green Bay game, Devin White, I agree with you, had a tremendous game last week. I don't know that they win that game without the performance of Devin White, but for Aaron Rodgers and this offense to operate at optimum efficiency, Aaron Rodgers is the one that stirs the drink, and he's the one that gets them in the right play at the right time and gets the ball out of his hands quickly. Aaron Jones, if he is able to get going, him, Jamal Williams, A.J. Dillon, whoever it is in the backfield, but I believe it's going to rest mainly on Aaron Jones. If they can get him going against the number 1 rush defense in the NFL, which is what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, they're going to be really hard to stop. It's already hard enough to stop with Aaron Rodgers, but if you put Aaron and Aaron together, all of a sudden, boy, they become almost unstoppable.
The other person I was going to mention in that game is, but I couldn't pick one because it depends where Devontae Adams lines up, is either Carlton Davis or Jamal Dean, one of their defensive backs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy from Central?
Sean Murphy Bunting.
Yeah, he has come on in the playoffs. Yeah. So I think that's another game to watch. For mine, easily in the Chiefs-Bills game, it's Darrell Williams. And we're doing this Thursday, and the game's more than 72 hours away.
Turn left onto West
Edwards
14 Mile Road,
play.
then turn right
Williams
onto
was
Inkster
pretty
Road.
crucial in the last game.
Yes, he was.
And the Bills, you have to run on the Bills. That's how the Chiefs beat them the first time. Edwards-Helaire had over 150 yards rushing. Darrell Williams, I think, needs, if Edwards-Helaire is not playing his normal snap count, I think Williams has to run for 100 for them to win.
Or Andy Reid and the enemy designed more plays for Le'Veon Bell, right?
Yeah, but I think that's spot duty.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Williams, you're talking 15 to 20 carries.
Yeah.
So, and he was big in the postseason in spots last year. So that's
right
the name of that game. I think I'm with you guys on White. I think it's an easy answer. I think maybe if you go to the other side of the ball, Rashawn Gary. I mean, Tom Brady's kryptonite is pressure, and Gary's been coming on.
Well, and I'll give you just one more little tidbit here. How about the draft that Tampa Bay had? Not only did they go out in free agency and obviously sign Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, but they drafted Antoine Winfield Jr., who is having a great year.
Second round, right?
Yes, second round. Tristan Wirfs in the first round.
Starting route to 6703 Forest Street.
As a starter on that offensive line. I think he only gave up one sack this year from that right tackle
turn right
position.
onto Northwestern
and then Tyler
Highway.
Johnson. We saw him have a great game last week.
Yes.
Be a big part, make some big catches, and at least be a target for Tom Brady. But those are 3 rookies making major contributions in the playoffs. for the Tampa Bay team.
And then, John, what you had said about Aaron Jones, I went back. I mean, nobody expects to happen what happened in the regular season matchup
1 mile,
this year.
turn
where
right
the
onto
Bucs
Northwestern
destroyed him
Highway.
38-10, and Rodgers had his worst game of the year through 2 picks. But if you look in between the numbers, Aaron Jones had 10 carries for 15 yards in that game. That can't happen again.
No.
Dominican Sue.
And then another one from that. Tampa outrushed them 158-94. So everybody's talking about the quarterback matchup, but probably whoever wins the rushing matchup will win that game.
Yeah, well, Ronald Jones appears to be pretty healthy now, and Leonard Fournette had a good game too. All right, 248-539-9797. Still ahead, the 2 Grand Slam. That's coming up at 7:25. 97 1 2.
We're under 30 hours until online sports betting is legal in Michigan. People can't wait for this, and BetMGM is the place to go. They're the first official sports betting partner of the Detroit Lions. You can sign up still right now with an early special registration offer. Open a BetMGM account today, and you'll receive $100 in free sports bets and $100 in free casino bets. It's the best way to get in on the action at BetMGM when they begin accepting wagers online, and there's no deposit required. Enjoy the same excitement you come to expect at MGM Grand Detroit on an easy-to-use, state-of-the-art app. And find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with the best daily promotions. You got to get down there. You got to get online tomorrow. Get in on the championship game action this weekend. Get on it early by signing up today and get $100 in free sports
At the
bets
light,
and $100
turn right
in free
onto
casino bets
Northwestern Highway.
that you can use at BetMGM. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, quiet on your
Make
drive this
U-turn.
time around as a couple of earlier accidents have been cleared. Taking a look at some road work for today, work crews are scheduled to block the right lane on the 94 eastbound ramp to westbound 696. Also coming up for midday construction, 96 eastbound ramp to northbound M5 is scheduled to close, and moving lane closures can be expected. US 23 northbound between 94 and Getty's Road. I'm Michelle Pena with
In
traffic.
6.2 miles,
You can
take exit
97.1 The
14C
Ticket
onto
with you is the
M39 and
radio.com
Southfield
app.
Freeway.
Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. From the depths of winter to cookouts in summer, natural gas is your safe, reliable, affordable energy source. Because DTE buys gas in the summer when prices are low and stores it to keep prices affordable. And we upgrade and monitor the system 24/7, 365. So for all you do, natural gas is there for you. Learn more at dteenergy.com. DTE. For all the dinners cooked, something smells good. For all the clothes dried. For all the hot showers. There's safe, reliable natural gas from DTE. We keep gas safe by constantly inspecting, upgrading, and monitoring our lines 24/7, 365. So for all you do, natural gas is there for you. Find out more at dteenergy.com. DTE.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we know your favorite spot might be curled up in a comfortable chair, or relaxing with your feet up on the ottoman, or even spread out on the spacious sectional. That's why we've redesigned comfort. Find your favorite spot in the style that best fits you. It's the Super Weekend Sale at Lazy Boy. For a limited time, get 30% off everything in the store, plus special financing available. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably. Exclusions apply. Minimum monthly payments required with approved credit. See store for details.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Brought to you by Klipsch Premium Audio. Klipsch Premium Audio, the combination of thoughtful design
spray is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed. Hey, what do you want to go to? I don't know. What do you think we should go to? Well, better we got just to the rest. All the dolls feel like the same doll these dolls. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still say wait when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Multi-dial or any-dial.
Progressive.com.
Progressive teachers don't have this.
Does learning a language feel like this? No hablo español. It's hablo. It's hablo. When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real-life situations. The app is so easy to use, and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
The Simmons Podcast, hosted by Kevin Durant and Andy Gonzalez, dives into the landmark cultural moments that help shape the world as we know it today. The Simmons Podcast.
In 2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the strip, it's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Helmet-to-helmet contact. Legal here. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jensen.
Remember the 97 Roman City Grand coming up at around 7:25. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. You can always follow us on Twitter at Stoney and Jansen with Heather. And of course, the radio.com app, or if you miss anything on our show, Carson Anderson, Mike and Rico, Roger and Rieger, you can go back, listen, and have a wonderful time. By the way, speaking of our Twitter page,
Stay in the second lane from right.
coming up in a few minutes. Coming up at 7:50, we will reveal who the best number 77 is in all of Detroit and Michigan sports history. And it's going to be a very,
Use the right
very
2
good
lanes
number,
to
a
take
lot of
exit
high
14C onto
qualified
M39
people,
and
a lot of
Southfield
high
Freeway.
character people on that list as well. So that should be very, very interesting.
We'll see what,
Take the exit.
He brought you. He's always with him. You know, maybe you'll show it on Twitch later, because we are on Twitch, by the way, at 9 o'clock. John Jansen, who won number 77 for the University of Michigan, is sporting his championship.
Oh, and by the way, Ruby texted me too. Don't let Stoney bully you today.
Yeah,
Yeah, Stoney's a bully.
Yeah.
It's about the opposite.
I know, exactly. Bully, we'll see, whatever. See, there you go. You left at your own joke again. Your joke.
Hey, you have your kids lined up all with, they all got Twitter accounts now and they're ready to vote on this thing?
In 7.4 miles, take exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
But you won't let me on social media.
You didn't bet for this one? All right, now it's time. Now you can get on.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, speaking of names, we have a tradition that's followed us from, radio station to radio station, where Wojo names children of his friends, personalities, things like that. For instance, my daughters, Jessica and Marissa, when they were born, were Jasmine and Miranda.
Okay.
He's named, Jamie's kids, Caroline was named Catherine, Catherine was named, anyway, I always screw them up. So, what names do you think Wojo should give your children? Because you revealed their names,
Yeah.
Ruby, Lucy, Jack,
And Ellie.
Ellie.
Now, that was the first time you collectively revealed those, and I kind of was like, wow. And then I was like thinking, well, Wojo needs to come up with some names for those.
Yeah.
So I came up with my guesses.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know this was a thing.
So Jack is going to be Jace.
Yes.
Ruby will be Riley.
Or Ruby he'll come up with some kind of like gemstone or something like that.
That's a good call.
Like
Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Lucy will be Lily.
Okay.
And then Ellie will be Elin.
Elin? Okay, well, her full name is Ellen, so we'll just repronounce that.
Yeah, Elin, yeah. So then you got the tiger play on words there.
248-539-9797. Don't forget Dan Campbell's introductory press conference will be live here at 11 a.m. Yes, that's Carson Anderson once again. Short show. Well, the show is lengthy, but they'll probably get about a 45-minute break. Right? That's how long those go.
That thing went an hour on Tuesday.
Well, I wonder if they would do the same thing or have, selected writers talk to Sheila and Rod first. I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll be,
Just get right to the
get
meeting.
right to the matter. Because we had all that stuff on Monday.
It's the Two Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000 in 60 seconds. Brought to you by Genesis Credit Union.
All right, it is the Two Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000. We haven't had a winner in a long time. We're kind of like the Powerball. Last time, I don't believe the person did very well. Lately, it's been tough. And this one, I believe, is no exception as far as difficulty. I took the Two Grand Slam. And one, I should have known. I just forgot off the top of my head, because that's what it is. And a lot of stuff, you know the answer. But when the clock's ticking, and you have to do it quickly within 60 seconds, your mind doesn't work as fast as it should. So I got 7. All right, we have our contestant. And our contestant is from Port Huron, and his name is Aaron. Good morning, Aaron. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Have you played the Two Grand Slam before?
I have not.
You have not? Rookie. So you played, I assume you play in your car or play at home occasionally?
Yeah, usually.
You know that for every one correct, you get $25. Here's the deal. We'll ask you 10 questions within 60 seconds. If you don't know, pass. That way you use your time better. We will not tell you if you got one right or wrong. We just proceed as quickly as we can, all right?
All right.
All right, I'm going to set the bar at, set the bar at 6.
Okay, I was hoping you were.
I'm going to set the bar at 6. All right, Aaron, are you ready?
I am.
The clock will begin once I start question number 1. Good luck, Aaron. Here we go. Who replaced Patrick Holmes in last Sunday's game against the Browns?
Jack Henny.
Who is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills?
Pat.
What was the name of Buffalo Bills' dog in Silence of the Lambs?
Pat.
What is the capital of Ohio?
Tim.
Who is the vice president of the United States?
O'Hara.
Aaron Rodgers played at this college.
California.
Who led the Packers in receiving yardage this season?
Monte Adams.
She played Sidney Prosser in American Hustle.
Pat.
Who is the general manager of the Detroit Lions?
In 2 miles, take exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
This quarterback led Michigan to their last bowl victory.
Pat.
Who is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills?
Sean McDermott.
What was the name of Buffalo Bills' dog in Silence of the Lambs? What'd you say?
Lucy.
No, not Lucy. You got 7 by my count. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah,
Way to go, Aaron. Nice job. $175 by my math. Way to go. Nice job. We'll put you on hold, get the pertinent information. He made good use of the clock, went back and pick one off. Okay. He didn't know the name of Buffalo Bills' dog in Silence of the Lambs, and I should have known that right away. That was the one I brain farted on. He said Lucy, right?
Yeah.
It's Precious. Did you see there's a TV show coming out called Clarice?
Yes. Yeah. Curious.
She played Sidney Prosser in American Hustle. That would be Amy Adams. The Adams one there from Devontae to Amy. And this quarterback led Michigan to their last bowl victory. Rick Leach.
Chad Henne.
Jake Rudolph. So that was when they beat Florida, Harbaugh's first year, correct?
Yes.
All right, so that's the Two Grand Slam for this week. The Two Grand Slam brought to you by our wonderful friends.
Use the right lane to
at
take
Genesis.
exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
I gotta ask here, and I don't know if you said this or not, but I thought when you asked the first question, you called him Patrick Holmes.
He didn't even say Patrick. He said he replaced Holmes.
He said Patrick Holmes. I didn't say Mahomes. I said Patrick Holmes. I probably just stuttered.
Brad Forbes.
You blew through it pretty quick.
Yeah. That's
I'm telling everybody, I'm saying in this
Take the exit, then turn left onto West Warren Avenue.
I did. I'm sorry. Hey, yeah, he got shot.
That's just 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes.
Brad Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but I think this one,
At the
the
light,
other one,
use the
Brad
left two
Holmes, Brad
lanes to
Ford
turn
is
onto
really
West
bad. This
Warren
one
Avenue.
I probably just said too fast.
I'm just being hard on you.
I know,
like
it's
I usually
okay.
am.
Hey, come on. You better watch out, Gov. I might bully you.
Yeah.
Coming up next, Heather has news.
Yes, I've got a story for the brokenhearted or those who are going to be single on Valentine's Day. I've got the perfect way for you to celebrate.
Oh, can't wait to find out.
In
97
3/4 of a mile, turn right onto Forer Street.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true in the face of flu. Influenza has the power to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Now more than ever, getting your flu vaccine is essential. Vaccines are proven to be safe and effective. In a typical year, flu vaccinations prevent millions of illnesses and thousands of hospitalizations and deaths in the U.S. The flu vaccine can't give you the flu, and everyone 6 months and older should be vaccinated. As we continue to face COVID-19, we need to face the flu together to protect our healthcare and essential workers and those at the highest risk for flu complications, people over 65, younger than 5, pregnant women, and those with underlying health conditions. Help us hit the flu head on. Get your vaccine. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Looking for snow equipment? Think Outdoor Equipment & Co., where the variety of outdoor power equipment is second to none. Visit OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. That's OutdoorEquipmentCo.com.
Hey, it's Heather Park. Online sports betting is coming to Michigan, and you've got to check out my friends at BetRivers Sportsbook. As an official partner of the Detroit Pistons, BetRivers is getting ready to take your basketball bets. And they've got a special offer just for you. Go to BetRivers.com, complete the registration, and they'll give you $50 in site credit. How exciting is that? Sign up today at BetRivers.com. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem?
Turn right
Call
onto Forer Street.
1-800-270-7117. Pending regulatory licensing. 24-month lease, 10,500 miles a year, no security deposit. Total due at signing Escape 2819, Explorer 1469. Easy plan pricing for returning red carpet lessees. Escape
In a
includes
quarter
40
mile,
inventory rebate
the
plus tax title
destination is
license
on your right.
$110 dock. With approved financing through Ford Credit and
6703 Street.
Q1 2021. It's a new year, and that means Metro Detroit drivers have new opportunities to save at Pat Milliken Ford. Brian Godfrey, what can your customers expect?
We're ready to make this our biggest year yet. That means our customers can look forward to exceptional savings, huge selection, and a team ready to help you find the perfect Ford.
Like a new 2020 Ford Escape SE all-wheel drive, lease from $179 a month. Or lease a new 2021 Explorer XLT 4-wheel drive Milliken Express price from just $299 a month.
Plus, we're excited to show off the all-new Bronco Sport, now in stock at Pat Milliken Ford.
Start your experience online at PatMillikenFord.com or visit the dealership on Telegraph Road.
Pat Milliken Ford, over 60 years
The
of the
destination is on your
experience
right.
you deserve.
6703
Whether class
Forer
is
Street.
in school, at
Arrived.
home, or a little bit of both, school goes on.
So Staples has everything your student needs.